Well, hi guys, it's Leslie from LuvINK&Paper, and tonight we're gonna do a card that I've seen the layout a couple of different places, but I got the measurements from Jackie Bolheis, and she and I have very similar styles, clean and simple, like not simple in a bad way, but simple as in clean and not overly fancy and not something that's going to take, 2 hours to make. I'm one of those people that if I'm sitting down to make a card, 10, 15, 20 minutes, and I ought to be ready to send it off to whoever's going to get it. So anyway, so hi to those of you that are here. Just a quick reminder that tomorrow is Sarah's day, is the Stampin' Up! Day of Service, and I have shared the link in a couple of places so that you can stamp along if you want to. There's a link to the cutting diagram, so you can have this with you. You can get your designer series paper cut ahead of time if you want. I think I'm gonna try and do some of mine tonight. Anyway, just wanted to give that a little bug. It's 4 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. Okay, you'll see a lot of places it'll say 2 o'clock, but that's Mountain Time. Okay, that's in Utah. All right, so remember I said I shared those dies the other day. I don't know where they went. Anyway, this is the card I ended up finishing. I told you were going to love it. So this is the border, and it doesn't cut both sides. There is an edge that you can fit along if you want the border all the way out of the paper, but this, but it's great because it leaves some of the paper in, which I thought was really cool. So anyway, really fun. And it's the Purple Posy cardstock and the Purple Posy DSP that's retiring. And then I'm thinking this could have been, yeah, this is the light Highland Heather. And probably the light Old Olive, am I right? Yes, I am. So I use the light Old Olive and the light Highland Heather blends just to do that. And this is from that lovely, this is one of those, the stamps. Now I'm going to do a card, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, something before Friday. And I'm going to show you how this image does not necessarily have to be like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of coloring. Okay. I think there are some ways that we can use this image without necessarily stamping it in black and coloring it, okay? Which is probably what most people think of to do when they see it. But I think there's some ways that I'm going to be able to show you that you should be able to use this big image without having to color the whole thing, okay? So we'll see about that. All right, so I just wanted to share that one with you because it's so pretty. Anyway, so for today, I told you you needed, I've got my sentiments ready, a card base. Okay, I happen to have mine going 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So that can just get folded. All right. Then you're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 3 3/4 by 5. Okay. And then you're going to need a piece of designer series paper, and that was 4 3/4 by 3.5. And you'll see that there's quite a space, or there's enough space, but we're going to do a little cutting with this. So here's where your trimmer is going to come in. Okay. So we've done some diagonal cuts, and you guys are getting really good at them. So I know this is going to be no big deal. Okay, I think, yeah, it looks like I've got the cutting track in the thing. All right, so what we need to do is cut in one one diagonal from corner to corner. Okay. And we've done something like that before, so it's not a big deal. Remember, a lot of trimmers, ooh, don't slide there, pal. A lot of trimmers don't like to slide right into a little tiny corner, so you may need to bring your blade down into the middle and go both ways. So here's where it gets tricky. So now that you've done one direction, now we need to turn it and cut it on the other diagonal. Now I happen to have a little piece of washi tape hanging around, and it's been de-stickified a little bit because I used it for something else. So I'm going to just put that, oh, actually I don't want it right in the middle. I want it up at one end so that when I cut the other diagonal, I'm not going through the tape and I won't have to fight that. Okay, so now we're going to turn it. So now the other two corners are lined up with our cutting track. Okay, we're going to take our blade, put it in the middle. Now my washi tape is over here, just kind of holding that so it doesn't slide apart. Okay, and we're going to go this way and that way. All right, so now we can take that apart, and we can take this really gently so I don't tear that pretty paper. And that's also from that Ornate Garden. I've had a couple of people get that suite. I hope when it arrives to you, you love it as much as I do. All right, there's that. Okay, so now you have 4 triangles. You have 2 of these shortish ones, okay, and you have 2 of these short but long this way. All right, so you have 4 triangles. See why I told you it was called the 4 triangle card? Anyway, I'm so creative, right? Anyway, what we're going to do is 2 of them are going to go with this side. And I'm going to investigate. I'm not sure exactly which ones I want which way. All right, and then this one's going to go up here. So all the points are going to go right back in the middle. Okay. So we're going to kind of put it back together the way we cut it, except that we're going to flip 2 of them the other way. Now they're not, these aren't exactly the same all the way around, so kind of play around with that. I think I'm going to like that all right. I don't think I have to get another piece. I think that's okay. So you just kind of want to choose your designer series papers so that both sides kind of work together and aren't kind of weird. Okay. So then when you've kind of wiggled it around and you've got it the way you like it, we're just going to stick those down. Okay, so I'm going to, when I do stuff like this, I like to try and get it as close to where I want it as I can before I tape, and then I just take one off at a time. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one close. Oops, well, it doesn't always work. Where is that? Ah, here we go. I'm going to take a page out of, I think Lisa Curcio is the one that almost always has her silicone mat out so she can get right down onto the tips because it won't stick. Hope you're not hearing that. The guy next door just started his Harley. And I have no problem with motorcycles. In fact, I really like them. I just don't like the loudness of those. Okay. All right. Well, I guess maybe I'm not really going to take off one at a time because they're just slipping around just a little too much. So I have had a couple of times when I've been at the studio to give out catalogs. So if you have not found me there yet and you still need a catalog, I still have them, and we can make a time that works for you and for me. Okay. I probably have a little bit of time tomorrow and could meet somebody if I needed to, or I could, you're always free if you know where I live. You are welcome to swing by the house. Just let me know you're coming, and I'll hang it in a bag off the front porch railing, or the front step railing, and that way we don't necessarily, if you'd rather not have contact, we don't have to have contact. But if you want to wave and say hi to me or something, just ring the doorbell so that I can see you and say hello, because that does make me happy. There. Can we get them all glued? There's nothing worse than thinking you glued them all and then going to move the thing and have a piece go flying the other way. Oh, I've done that before. Okay, so now that that's done, so I have a piece of the new Just Jade, and I have a piece of the, I think that's terracotta tile, that one. And this is from that Spread Sunshine PDF, the I Miss You So Much. Now, we've talked a lot about cutting punches so that you can make a border behind it. I have to tell you, check out the punch page in your new catalog if you have it, because there is a punch, and I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. There is a punch that will do layers. You can put in a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, or a 1 inch strip, and the end changes a little bit. Actually, there's 2 separate channels that can be 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch, or 1/2 an inch, and the end changes based on the width of your paper. So there's this sort of squared off end, and there's this sort of bumpy end. This is the 3/4 inch view, and then this was the 1/2 inch view to go on it. So this is going to make putting layers on your punches so much easier. I love it. I love it. It is probably going to be one of my new favorite punches. So since I didn't stamp on that one, and I really do want to do it, I Miss You So Much, what I think I'm going to do is do it just off to the side a little bit. So I'm going to kind of cover that where it joins, because that looks a little messy, and then I'm just going to put it here, but I am going to pop it up. So I'm going to put the white down flat, and then I'm going to pop up this piece. Oops. That looks pretty good. There. All right. Throw a couple of dimensionals on there. Oh, let's put a 1/3 in the middle just to be on the safe side. So I'm really glad that Jackie showed how to do this cut, because I'd seen a couple of different samples flying around the internet on the demonstrator planning plays and stuff. And I thought there must be a way to do that, to get all those angles to work. And sure enough, there is. It's just 2 cuts, 2 diagonal cuts. The trick, again, is to make sure that once you do that first one, you keep the paper from slipping back and forth. So let's put this on here, like that. There. Ta-da! I didn't prepare another one. Oh well. So I got an email from Constant Contact the other day, and then I watched the video that they had about setting up a store. And I'm really excited, and I'm going to try and get that done maybe over this holiday weekend, maybe sometime next week, and have all of my class, the classes since I might be able to do the February technique class. Probably not 4-card class from February, but I think I can do both classes from March, both classes from April, and both classes from May as tutorials in that store. So if you happen to have missed any, or you've been poking around and you saw somebody that posted their cards and you were like, oh my gosh, those are so cute, you could purchase just the tutorial part, and then they all have the cutting, the measurements for the pieces and stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna try and get that all figured out, so when I do, I will be sure to let you know. I'm also working on the paper pumpkin, which came, did I bring it in here? Yes, I did, and I shared a little bit on Monday. So my super bright fancy box came, and I've seen a couple of fun things that I think we're gonna try. So there's some fun arches that can be rainbows, which sort of mirror the rainbow pieces that are here for some of the cards. Like this is one of them, like that. So yeah, obviously you'd need some other ink, although one of the ones that I saw figured out a way to make the cutest little face, and so I may copy that idea and share it with you guys. Anyway, I'm playing around. I think the kits for the alternates will have some of the new in color cardstock. Okay, well, probably not whole card bases, but maybe a layer, because I only got one package of each color, so I can't use up a whole lot until I can get more, which I can't get until June 3rd. So anyway, so I'm hoping to have card packets ready by Sunday or Monday, certainly by Monday. But if they need to go in the mail to you, I will try and have them in the mail by late Friday or first thing Saturday morning, so that they get to you. And I know Monday is a holiday, and if they don't get to you, I guess you'll just have to watch the replay and craft along later, because this girl just can't get too much more fit into 24 hours. Every day has been pretty jam-packed. So anyway, so that is, I'm pretty excited about that. And we got one of the new colors. So even though we weren't able to get inks in our pre-order as demonstrators, those of us who got this kit have one of the new inks, the Misty Moonlight. Woohoo! So that'll be fun. We'll play with that on Monday night. And let's see, anything more that I need to tell you? Definitely check out the punches page so you can check out our fun little, oops, doesn't show up good there. There we go. Check that out, and make sure you've double checked the retired list. And if there's anything on there that you really want, I would get it now, because sometimes those things show back up on the clearance rack, but not always. Depending on how many of something Stampin' Up! Has left, they might choose to donate it or use it in something that they're doing as a donation, you know, different stuff like that. So they may or may not show back up. So if you want them, now's the time to get them, okay? And for those of you that have your new catalogs, I hope you're working diligently on your shopping list. It might help to start on a piece of paper, or you might have to jot everything down and then go back and prioritize that list. So anyway, oh, here's something I wanted to show you. This is hanging out on my table. I saw something somewhere, and somebody was like, oh, do you use a lot of tea bags and you can repurpose a tea bag and blah, blah, blah. And I went, oh, well, we don't do tea bags, because we do big, Rich gets loose tea, and we put it in, just like some people put ground coffee in their thing and make coffee. We make tea that way. And so this morning, he was getting ready to make tea, and I said, oh, is there a used filter and tea in the machine? And he goes, yeah. And I said, could you dump out the tea and save the filter for me? I gotta tell you guys, the look I got. He goes, you want me to do what? I said, I want you to please dump the loose tea into the trash, and save me the filter. He's like, okay. So I have a filter that is tea stained, and now I get to figure out what to do with it. And I'm thinking it might have something to do with those flowers. So, you know, come on back. Maybe I'll have the card ready to share with you on Friday. I will have to post what we're doing on Friday and give you the measurements, because I have a list of things that I want to do with you guys, and it is not here. It is in the other room. So, I will look for a post that gives you dimensions and stuff like that for Friday. Okay. All right. I think that is it. I think it was a short night tonight, which is good, because I was up in the wee hours of the morning. So it's going to be an early to bed night for me. Oh, one other thing though. So on my LuvINK&Paper page on Facebook, I put it in the group too, but there is a poll, and you can choose as many things that you like to do at a launch event as you want, but I need to know what your most favorites are, and so that I can start really narrowing down what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. I should probably do a second poll. Is a Friday late afternoon, evening better, or is Saturday during the day better? Could depend on the weather. I know the answer could depend on the weather, but anyway, maybe shoot me an email or something, or maybe I will try another poll and just do Friday I think it's the 5th, or Saturday the 6th. Or I could do a couple of things on Friday and then continue it and do a couple more on Saturday. And you just catch what you can live and go back and watch replays of the rest. anyway, one of the things that I will do, it will be a catalog tour. I'll take you through that and stuff. So, all right, there we go. Remember, I love it when people share their cards in the comments. I don't know if you guys looked back and saw there's a couple of cute pinwheel cards that Erica Sullivan did. So please share if you play along. Please share your cards. Your color combination or something might just be the spark somebody else needs. If they're having a hard time getting ready to craft. Okay, so share, please. It makes it fun. All right. Thanks so much for joining me. I love to have you here, and we will see you next time. Bye.